Hello, Factually family. Meet Alexei from the channel Carthago Castle. Like many of us, he loves playing with plasticine. We usually make simple things, but not Alexei. He is building an entire castle, including rooms, functional gates, and even working medieval toilets. He not only builds the outer walls, but also makes hidden rooms that can be revealed later on. A pattern is made for each stone step for the spiral staircase. He cuts out each one and carefully places them. Say hi to the guard. Each stone is created and placed separately, like a real-life stonemason. The inner part of the tower is being modeled. This will create a nice, sturdy base for later on. After a certain point, he must measure and cut out a base out of cardboard. This will ensure the tower remains straight and doesn't collapse or tip over. He covers it in plasticine and continues building upward. The same process is followed for the next corner of the castle. You can see him thinking about the inside of the tower as he builds it layer by layer. It's important to build such a large-scale model on top of a flat, smooth surface. In this case, Alexei uses a flat, thick piece of cardboard. This is standard for this type of model. He starts construction on the first major house inside the castle walls. This will house many things, including the kitchen and storage area. Using a paper clip and cutter, he creates little tiny bars that go inside one of the windows. Always be careful when swinging around a sledgehammer. He uses a technique known as layering and stacking. This means instead of just cutting out one piece of plasticine and texturing it, he cuts out each brick with precision and stacks them carefully. This creates depth and thickness for a more realistic castle wall. Using sticks and covering them in plasticine, he creates joists for a balcony. He places them evenly apart to distribute the weight. The supervisor is looking on from the newly renovated balcony, making sure construction is being completed on time. Could use someone like him in Toronto. He measures and cuts out even pieces of PVC pipe. This will be used for the walls inside the tower for extra durability and covered with plasticine. A piece of the wall must be very carefully measured and cut out so he can build the spiral staircase inside. Once completed, the wall is put back in place. a stone oven is being installed along with more stairs leading to the upper levels. For each new floor, he adds additional support before layering on more plasticine. Texturing is a technique that adds realistic details to walls, roofs, and other surfaces. This is usually done by using a toothpick, knife, or sculpting tool to press patterns into the plasticine. Incredible detail and craftsmanship go into making the rooftop and pantry. He even adds cotton for the smoke in the chimney, and tiny little fruit and beans in the pantry. A tiny little bridge is created leading from one of the main towers into the courtyard. Here's time to make some accessories that will go around the castle. Look at the attention to detail as he crafts several barrels. Remember that secret room? Turns out it's an old-fashioned wine cellar. Wine in medieval times was kept in barrels to help speed up the aging process. The castle is looking amazing so far. He continues to build up the massive walls and adds in a few more essentials, like the water well with actual moving parts. A stable is necessary in every castle. This is where the horses are kept, where they can sleep, eat, and relax. This type of wall is called a curtain wall, which provides a natural barrier against invaders. They connected all the main towers and encircled the entire structure. The walls are deep enough so guards could patrol and defend. A portcullis is a massive gate usually made of wood or metal that could slide up and down with a massive crank. This is usually guarded around the clock and is the main entry point, usually connected to a drawbridge and a moat. Moats are usually massive ditches dug around the castle, sometimes filled with water. This made attacking a castle very difficult as it neutralized many siege equipment, with only a drawbridge giving access to the castle. Using more PVC pipe, he builds up the walls of the keep. This is usually the highest tower in the castle and often housed the lord and his family, important goods, and in some cases was the last line of defense. He creates a nice stone fireplace, some seating area for comfort, and there's even a fully functional toilet. Medieval toilets or latrines often protruded from the castle walls, so the waste would either fall into the castle moat or nearby river to be washed away. I wouldn't want to swim there. He starts work on the bailey, also known as the courtyard, where daily activities took place within the castle walls. This could include a market, blacksmith, stables, etc. more bricks are added to the main tower, with another floor constructed. The tower is almost completed with one more floor to go. It is the tallest point in the castle. There seems to be no walls in the courtyard. This simply won't do. Let's build some. Walls are put up in the courtyard with battlements. These are made up of high and low points where soldiers could take cover at the high points and shoot out through the low points. This greatly improved the ability to defend the castle. Every castle needs a smithy. They provide tools, weapon repairs, and general craftsmanship. The smithy housed a blacksmith and occasionally an armorer, responsible for maintaining weapons and tools. Besides the smithy, there are other workshops that produced everyday items and were critical to the castle's self-sufficiency. Usually in a project like this, different colored plasticine would be used for different items. Gray for the walls, brown for the wood, green for the grass, etc. Alexei decides to go with a more monotone look, but it really works. Instead of having the castle as one solid piece, Alexei splits them up into sections. This really comes in handy when he has to work on a specific portion of the wall. He can just remove it and work on it separately, then put it back. Although the walls are now quite high, it's still no match for this mythical cat-like beast. His attention to detail is astonishing. Even though you can't see it from the outside, he removes part of the wall to finish the spiral stairs leading all the way to the top of the tower. The last room of the main tower is nearing completion. It looks like this will be where soldiers are stationed to help rotate the archers that are on the rooftop. You can see just how high this tower really is. This is a great spot to put up an archer nest. Archers up here will have full range of the entire castle and would be very difficult to dispose of. Along with the high and low walls, the walls and nests also have arrow slits. These were narrow vertical slits cut into walls and towers. Arrow slits allowed defenders to shoot at attackers without exposing themselves. So imagine trying to shoot an arrow up there amongst all the chaos. It would be almost impossible. The archers on top would have no issue, however. A common technique to ensure stability in larger structures like walls and towers is to insert toothpicks or cocktail sticks. Almost forgot about the stable. Can't have those horses escaping, better install some doors. It's so satisfying seeing him take off the layers of the tower. It's almost like he's taking off layers of a cake. I wonder if they have cake in the pantry. It's time to inspect all the different sections of the castle to see if anything has been missed. You can tell he's a perfectionist. To make the ramp leading up to the drawbridge and main gate, he uses a lot of old matchboxes and layers the plasticine on top. It saves a lot of material while still having the desired effect. This technique has been used throughout the castle. If this type of build interests you, please subscribe to Alex's channel Carthago Castle. He deserves a lot of attention with this amount of talent. I'm sure he would appreciate it. It's really cool that he populates the castle with figurines. It makes the whole project more lively and realistic. Would not feel the same if it were an empty castle. The castle is almost done, but it's missing one key piece, the drawbridge. He's using real wood to make the crank and metal for the chains. Drawbridges allowed access across the moat to the gatehouse. The drawbridge could be raised or lowered to grant or deny access to the castle. When raised, it sealed the entrance and helped protect the castle during sieges. If invaders managed to make it past the drawbridge into the gatehouse, they were met with terrifying traps. Murder holes were located in the ceiling of the gatehouse or passageways and were used to drop stones, boiling water, or hot oil on attackers who breached the gatehouse. This feature turned the gatehouse into a deadly bottleneck. We hope you enjoyed this incredible castle build. If you want to see more incredible builds like this, please follow the link in the description. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and Lily will give you a cookie. Factually.